everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you're new here, my name is Stephanie and I cover oily skin, hooded eyes, and beauty. Welcome back to my eye primer wars for hooded eyes. Today's episode 7. So if you're watching this in the future, I will link all the videos down below for you. I will be testing out 10 drugstore eye primers for your hooded eyes. And for each of these, I do want to see how well they work when being set with a setting powder and then how well they work without being set with a setting powder. So let's go ahead and get into the eye primer number 7, which is the Milani Eye Primer. So this eye primer claims to intensify the color of your favorite eyeshadow and increase its wear time while being lightweight and crease proof. So I tested this primer out for 2 days and day 1 is my first impression, so let's roll the tape. Today's day 1 and I have nothing on my eyelids, so let's go ahead and get into the eye primer. So here's what the eye primer is looking like. As you can see, it is pretty thick. It's not like dripping down or anything. There's definitely a color to it and it feels really smooth, very silky, and just a little bit on the thick side. Smell test. Smells like makeup. So I'm only going to be putting the eye primer on the right eye because I do want a side-by-side comparison on how well the primer works. And then of course I'll set it with a setting powder. So the directions do say to let this sit for 30 seconds and then apply eyeshadow on top. So we're just going to wait 30 seconds. So here's what the eye primer is looking like dried down. It has definitely mattified my eyelid. Now I'm just going to set it really quickly. That laid down beautifully, so let's go ahead and get into the eyeshadow. That is definitely looking super pigmented. Let's go ahead and get into the real test, blending. All right, so this is blending beautifully. I don't see any patchiness. I don't see any skipping. This looks really, really nice. It blended seamlessly. So let's go ahead and deepen up the outer thirds. Okay guys, I am loving this so far. This eye primer has made the blending process so easy. I just feel like everything blended out so smoothly. It looks so good. Let me go ahead and do the rest of my makeup and we will do some close-ups. Now that I'm done with the rest of my makeup, let's go and take a look at my eyes. Let's go ahead and get the non-prime side out of the way. So because I was blending on my bare skin, my eyeshadow does not look that great. It just doesn't look well blended. It just looks patchy and like not vibrant at all. While the prime side looks the complete opposite. It looks very well blended. It looks not crazy vibrant, but you can definitely tell that the eyeshadow is there. I mean, compared to the non-prime side, it looks so, so good. You guys have to see this up close. I am loving this so far. So here's the non-prime side. You can definitely see the patchiness going on. You can tell that this is not going to last at all today. And here's the prime side looking so good and so smooth. Everything just blended out like butter. Everything just blended like a dream. I cannot wait to see what this looks like at the end of the day. It's been 10 hours, so let's take a look at my eyes. So I'm looking at my mirror and honestly, I don't see a difference in the prime side. I feel like it looks exactly how it looked this morning. There is zero creasing, zero transfer. I don't really see any fading. And of course, the prime side is looking horrific. It's just, it's not looking very good at all. So let's go ahead and do a close-up so that way you guys can see. As you guys can see, the non-prime side is just not looking good at all. The eyeshadow is completely gone from my eyelid, and what's left of it is just looking so patchy. And here's the prime side looking so good. I honestly would never be able to tell that I wore this for 10 hours. Just look at how amazing this still looks. Today's day 2, so let's go ahead and give this eye primer another shot. Again, I am only going to be putting this on the right eyelid, and this time we will not be setting it with a setting powder. I'm just gonna let this dry for a bit. Now to get into the eyeshadow, I'm just going to pat this all over the lid. Okay, so that laid down beautifully on top of this eye primer. Now to get to my favorite part, the blending process. Okay, so this blended out beautifully. I don't see any skipping, any patchiness. I do see just a few tug marks in the crease, but I mean, really, it's not that noticeable. Let's go ahead and deepen up the crease. Okay guys, so there is a ton of skipping and tugging, and it's just not really looking that pretty. So I am gonna have to go back and just kind of clean this up a bit. Okay, so I don't know how, but the more blending I did, the more you can see like a crease happening on my eyelid. Yeah, really weird. So I'm just gonna do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back so that way you guys can really see everything. Okie dokie, so I am back with the rest of my makeup and I am still not very happy with the prime side. I feel like I tried my best to diffuse the tugging marks And that didn't really happen. And then of course the creasing that I have, it's just like, it was instant, and I couldn't do anything to really smooth it out because that primer is really making everything stick. So yeah, so let's just do a close-up so that way you guys can see. First off, here's the non-prime side, and I'm actually liking this a lot better than the prime side. That's saying a lot. And here's the prime side where you can see the tugging marks and just the creasing that's going on. It's not looking too good. It's been 10 hours, so let's take a look at my eyes. Okay, so let's go ahead and just talk about how bad the non-prime side looks. I have no eyeshadow on the eyelid like always. I only have eyeshadow on the outer third and pretty much anything above the crease. And then I do have those mascara marks. Now let's go ahead and go over the prime side. I kind of think it actually looks a little bit better than it did this morning. I don't really see the tug marks as much as I did this morning, and the creasing just isn't as noticeable. I do have just a bit of mascara marks. Let's go ahead and do a close-up so that way you guys can see. Here's the non-prime side, and as I said earlier, it's not looking too good. It just really looks like a mess. And then here's the prime side, which is actually looking better than I thought it was going to look. I just feel like it got a little bit better throughout the day, but it's still not the most desired look because of that creasing. Okay guys, so if you're familiar with this entire series, I'm pretty sure you can predict what I'm about to say about this eye primer, and that's the fact that I love it when it's being set with a setting powder, and I do not love it when it's not being set with a setting powder. So day one had the best results. It just had no creasing, no transfer, no fading, no patchiness, and it literally does everything that it claims to do. It really is a dream. So I did read some reviews on this eye primer, and a lot of people were saying that there was like an oily or a greasy feel to it, but as you guys saw in the clips, that just wasn't the case for me because it actually mattified my eyelids and it made blending super easy. And I'm just wondering if they didn't follow the directions, because the directions does say to wait for 30 seconds before you put eyeshadow on top, and I'm wondering if that's where they went wrong. But anyway, this did an amazing job. Like, it helped me really blend out those eyeshadows super easily. So this eye primer is $9.99, and I do think that it's worth the money, and I definitely think that it's Hooded Eye approved. Now, I do have a question for you guys. If you guys have tried this Milani eye primer, what experience did you have? Did you have the greasy, oily feeling, or was it just mattifying and super easy to blend? Let me know down in the comments below what your experience was for this. And if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Thank you guys. Bye.